Media reports circulated more than a year ago of the Pentagon spending $43 million to build a gas station in Afghanistan. But the Government Accountability Office has repeatedly found the Pentagon's financial house to be in disorder. One America's John Hines has more from Washington.
Since the early 90s, federal law has required all government agencies to be audited. Yet one of the largest federal agencies, the Department of Defense, has never complied with this law. Now a Texas congressman thinks it's time to audit the Pentagon.
There was a statute passed that required all federal agencies to undergo an audit. Here we are now some 25 years later, and the only one still outstanding is the Department of Defense. So it is time for that audit to occur. The standalone bill likely will be introduced next week, and it puts a little more teeth into the issue that there would be a reduction of the discretionary appropriation of 0.5% for every year that the audit is not forthcoming.
So the bill Texas Congressman Michael Burgess plans to introduce would chip away at the Pentagon budget if there is no audit. And Burgess explains he's written this bill because he's a defense hawk who wants every Pentagon dollar to go as far as it can.
Every one of us wants to be voting to defend our nation. Donald Trump ran on rebuilding the military, and I'm right with him on that. We also recognize that we're under some budgetary constraints and that big discussions going on right now. What is the budget going to look like? What are the top line numbers going to be? What is the top line number for defense going to be? Well, every dollar that's appropriated for the Department of Defense has to be well spent.
And dollars well spent seems to be a conservative defense philosophy shared by George Landreth, president of Frontiers of Freedom.
To me, it would be a tool. If I'm the Secretary of Defense, I would want an audit because I'd want the information it would provide me so that I could better run the organization. I don't do this, I don't suggest that because I necessarily want to see the military cut in any way, because that's not where I come from. My orientation is we need a very strong commitment to our military.
In the past, the Pentagon has resisted an audit, indicating that its main focus is national security and that the organization's books are not its primary mission. John Hines, One America News, Washington.